Hey, how's everybody going? It's Grim. And before I say anything, I would just like to let you guys know that we finally hit 50 subscribers, which is insane because I don't know, man, that's a huge goal for me. The next goal is 100, but 50 is absolutely insane. Thank you so much for that. I'm probably going to be planning a 50 subscriber something or other. Not quite a giveaway yet. I don't think that's big enough for a giveaway. Maybe just like, I don't know. Maybe nothing. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see something for the 50 subs. But anyways, without talking about anything else. So today I'm going to be making a video about Overlord, which is the anime that I watched last week. I really liked Overlord. I rated it like an 8 out of 10. So yeah, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, what I liked, what I didn't like, stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So the plot of Overlord is this guy, his name begins with an M, I think it's Mona or something, Momonga, I think it is, and basically he is the king of this, or the leader, I guess, more the leader, not the king. He's the leader of the best guild in the MMORPG that he plays. Yeah, he's quite a no-life, so, you know, like all the other Isekai protagonists, he's kind of a no-life. I think that's kind of a trait at this point. But I think it was really cool to see that he was actually a successful no-life instead of just, you know, kind of like a Kazuya shut-in or something. But I thought it was kind of cool. You know how the actual like game affected how he was in his game, right? Like in his world, I guess, the game he played. And so to explain that a little further, basically he's playing this game, right? And out of his guild or clan, whatever it is, about only 4 of the members are actually still active, which kind of sucks. And so I believe one of them logs off. It's down to like 3 or something. And basically he's sitting there and he's gonna watch like the last moments of this game that he's played for so long. And after that happens, instead of the game shutting down, he gets transported into the game. And so all of his stats and everything are in the game, which I thought was in this new world, I guess, is really cool. That's something that I don't think has ever been done before, to my knowledge, but. Or maybe just Overlord is the first one to do it, I'm not really sure. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool concept that they added. A little more about the plot. So this guy changes his name to Ainz, and that's what most people know him by, is Ainz Olgon. And basically he tries to take over the world in a sense, or at least spread his name to be known for eternity, which I thought is another cool concept, because most of the time it's just be successful or get back to your other world, stuff like that, like in ReZero, it's kind of just like get through. But ReZero is still interesting. I'm not dissing on ReZero at all. I still love that anime. I haven't finished it yet though, so I'll make a video about that sometime soon. Yeah. But more about Overlord. I really liked Ainz. Ainz is probably one of my favorite protagonists from any anime in recent times, or in times in general. Because most protagonists are either really readable, or they're just, I don't know, boring, or something like that. Ainz kind of reminds me of Saitama, but not as funny, like not as lighthearted and just kind of an epic guy. Like Ainz is obviously epic, but he's in this position of power, right? And everyone expects him to be a certain way, and he's not that way. But at the same time, he has to act in character, or else the in-game character thing will kind of make him hold back, I guess. So what that means is if he tries to get too heated, like if he's getting too heated, there's a scene where he starts kicking the ground because the stuff from his game is different, and I don't know. It's kind of hard to remember, but he's getting really mad because something bad happens, and this thing in the game just forces him to calm down. And so I thought that was really cool. That it made him stay in character that way, because in real life he's a totally different person than his actual in-game character. And yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that's something that was kind of cool that they did. Another thing that I really liked were another thing that I really liked were that the side characters got a lot more screen time than the main characters, and that's not a good thing necessarily either, and I'll talk about that later. But I liked how this one side character, I can't remember her name, but it begins with an N, I believe. I'll put her up on screen right now. Basically, she is the main girl for a good 7 episodes, I'd say, and she's there instead of Albedo, which I think Albedo gets more screen time in the 2nd and 3rd season because she is literally the focus of the outro. But I think that side character getting a little more screen time is just a really cool thing that they did, and in the 1st season, nonetheless. So yeah, that was definitely something new that I haven't seen in any other anime before. Now, a couple more things I liked about Overlord. I really liked the plot, obviously, and I liked a lot of the characters. I think the characters is what makes Overlord so good, because and that goes for a lot of anime too. Something like JoJo's and Jujutsu Kaisen. Obviously, Jujutsu Kaisen is a masterpiece beyond just the characters, but the characters definitely make up part of the story. They're really good characters. I just think that characters are probably the most important part of any story. If you don't have a plot, the characters need to be the best thing. So, yeah, I thought the characters were very epic, and the plot was too. So that was a good combination of both. Another thing I really liked about Overlord is the villains. All the villains are actually really good, really well written. Now, they're nothing sinister, but for a small type of villain, I think all the small villains are written really well. I like how a lot of them are really not powerful at all compared to ainz, because humans can only wield up to tier 3 magic, and that's something that's really hard to get to. But ainz, since he's not a human, can wield, I believe it's 10 tier magic, or even like world destruction magic, which is really good. And so just seeing him absolutely destroy these guys while handicapping himself is a really funny thing. And the villains are just written really well during these scenes, I think. The one that Dio plays, the voice actor for Dio in the sub, he is a really good villain. He's not anything that's insane, right? Like nothing like Overhaul or I don't know, Cell or Frieza, some of the really like good anime villains. The one from Jujutsu Kaisen, can't remember his name. All those villains are really good, right? But this one is just kind of, he's like a side villain. He's like just in for an episode, I believe. And he was a really good villain for how long he was in the episode. So I thought it was really cool how they give attention to even the smaller characters. And especially with the screen time, too, with the character I was talking about before, the maid one. The one that goes with ainz on like the 6 episode thing or whatever. So yeah, I really liked how the villains were written well, even if they were smaller. And I really liked also how ainz, an OP character that's kind of done right? Obviously Saitama is the best example of that, and I keep referring to Saitama as the best OP character protagonist, but I think that something like SAO with Kirito is just not a good way to write a character with just how powerful he is in knowledge and stuff, and just the whole thing about Kirito, I don't really like it. But ainz is a really good overpowered character in the sense that he knows what to do with his power, but sometimes he uses his knowledge to like outsmart the opponent, right? So in the final battle of the first season, which I've only finished the first season by the way, he fights against this one girl, and I'm not gonna say who it is because that's kind of spoilers, but was in the opening, I guess, so I could say, but I'm not going to. Anyways, he fights against this one girl, and it looks like he's gonna lose, right? But she comes and she's like super confident about anything, as the main villain usually is, or she's not even the main villain, she's just a villain. But the main villain's always, or the just villain, you know what I mean, is always really confident in, oh, I'm gonna win, I got this. But then he just pulls a 180 and he's like, nope, I knew what I was doing all along. And then he pulls out these overpowered weapons, which I thought was a really cool thing that he did. The OP character done right thing. It's just another thing that happened in that battle is he didn't even wear like his overpowered gear. He was just wearing like a robe, which I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a cool thing that they added, just to make ainz seem like this overpowered boss that just doesn't really care, and he's just overpowered in every sense of the word. And so yeah, I thought that was really cool, and I also thought that it was cool that we got to see every aspect of ainz instead of just one aspect. We got to see him get mad, and got to see him, hang out with his friends and stuff like that, and just all this different stuff, and not just have him show one emotion, right? Whereas I think Subaru, even though he's a great character, for how much I've watched, he's just kind of this really anxious and angry, I guess I would say. I don't know what word I'd use to describe Subaru, but he's just that kind of person. And obviously I think Subaru is written really good. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that his personality isn't gone too in-depth with. I think we get to see inside his head, but it's just we don't get to see a lot of the sides of him, right? Whereas ainz, you get to see literally everything in the first season, in the first 13 episodes, and I thought that was really cool. And there could be more. I don't know. I keep missing a lot of things, but I think that it was really cool how you got to see every aspect of ainz, and just how he's a different isekai character different main character from every other isekai anime. And I just thought that was a really cool thing that they did, because a lot of the times isekai anime don't really go into the protagonist in every side of them. And obviously, I think isekai anime focus a lot on the main character a lot of the time, because stuff like Rising of the Shield Hero, for example, I haven't gotten that far in that one either. But for now, we've seen a lot of him. I can't remember the protagonist's name, but the Shield Hero. We've seen a lot of him, and we've seen like a lot of different sides of him, and it's mainly about him and the raccoon girl. I think it's Raphtalia, and you see a lot of them, and you don't really see much of anything else, which I think was really cool. And it's kind of an isekai thing. Same thing with Subaru. You don't really go in depth with Rem unless they do in the second season. I'm not sure because we're not that far, but Subaru is the main character that they go in depth to. Now, something like JoJo's, right? Obviously, you can't go in depth with one character only because there's 8 different JoJos and there's so many other characters and stuff. Or something even like Dragon Ball, right? Goes into a lot of different characters too, but they mainly stick to Goku and Vegeta because those are the 2 main characters, and they don't really go into anybody else. Which, I don't know, I think it's kind of cool that there's the isekai genre that, focuses on the main character and stuff. I thought that was a really cool thing, that I just noticed on the side. And another thing that I really liked about the first season was the ending. And this can kind of be spoilers, but I don't really think it is. So just skip ahead like 30 seconds, I'll be quick about it. So the ending was pretty much an open ending. It was a really open conclusion. You could finish the season there if you wanted to, but you probably don't want to because they announced an attack on another nation, and it's just kind of a different ending than most animes, which are just like, you can end it. Obviously, you can end Overlord there, and that wouldn't be terrible, but it leaves this empty feeling where it's like you got to see more, right? And I think that's something that's really cool about Overlord. And the last thing I want to talk about really quick is the opening and ending for the show, and I think both are amazing. The ending is done by the same person that did the ReZero ending, which obviously a lot of people like, including myself. And I thought that was a cool thing, and I like the cinematics for the first opening, and obviously the actual song itself. I think it was all really good. Really well done openings and endings. So yeah, overall, Overlord is probably going to be in my top 20. I wouldn't say it's anything past top 10, but it's definitely a great isekai that you should go and watch yourself. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.